Hey everyone, it's Cinema Lovers Incorporated back at you again with a brand new video, and I apologize for my lack of content lately. I just haven't been getting a lot of love like usual. Not a lot of people have been watching my videos. It's been pretty sad for the most part, in my opinion. It's just a depressing downtime, so I'm uploading less. Now, if I got more viewers and more love on my channel, I would upload more like usual. So, today I'm reviewing Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 13, and I have to say, I was correct about Colman Domingo last week. Colman Domingo directed one of the worst episodes of all time, Episode 12, titled Weak. That episode just felt off to me. I don't feel like the direction was on par with the rest of the direction in other episodes. It just felt off, and I don't know if it was just me, if I was having a rough night that night, but something just didn't click with me in Episode 12. Nevertheless, turn it over to a professional in Episode 13. A professional director directed this episode in Episode 13, and Episode 13 is actually very, very good. Not only is it better paced, but we get to see our original Fear the Walking Dead characters like Strand, Luciana, and Alicia even makes a cameo at the end. This episode, while not perfect, is, in my opinion, an improvement over Episode 12. Episode 13 explores different groups. We have Morgan's group, and let me tell you, they are not as annoying as Episode 12, and that also shows you how Colman Domingo directs people. He's just not very good at doing so. They're not as annoying in this episode. Jim and Sarah and Wendell. Yes, there, I got it right. Wendell, they're not as annoying in this episode, and they're actually growing on me. Now, a lot of people don't like Jim, and he's probably a whiner. He's just whining around, blah, blah, blah. But, I think he's interesting. I want to see where they go with him. He'll probably be Zombie Chow by the end of the season, but nevertheless, it's cool to see new characters. So, they are, still looking for people. They discover that the man who had the truck, unfortunately, was taken by this crazy black woman who thinks people are weak. I'll get to her in a minute. And Morgan and them, they're all like, they're trying to find their friends. They're not just sitting there in limbo like in Episode 12. They're actually moving, and we share some, some drama with these characters. Should they stick with their friends? Should they go here? What are they going to do? And it's just dramatic how they have to come up with, ideas and stuff. And they fight, and it's dramatic, and that's what Episode 12 should have had instead of them just sitting there in the background. Episode 13 plays with these characters. They're not all good inside, and they all tassel with each other. They all crash with each other, and that was very interesting to see in my personal opinion. I think one of my favorite characters, I think Sarah is getting a little bit more interesting. She's kind of this redneck, this typical kind of country trucker who actually fought in the military before in her past. So Sarah's really interesting. She thinks she's all tough and not, but Morgan knocks that knife right out of her hand. One of my favorite parts in this episode was Luciana and that man, and Strand and John trapped on the island. I really like the pace of this episode. It feels like 3 episodes made into 1 episode, and I really like that. Instead of branching it out like The Walking Dead would probably do, we have them all jam-packed together. You have this really intense island scene where John's trying to escape with Strand, and we get to know more about Strand, why he's drinking, stuff like that. We get to know John better. He's really loyal to June. You get to really see him strive to be the best he can be, to get off this island. And there's a bloodthirsty alligator in the water. They've never done this in The Walking Dead before, The Walking Dead universe, or Fear the Walking Dead. They've never done it, so it was really awesome for a episode. It was not a finale. It was a little scene. It was really awesome, though. They didn't really blow their budget. They showed the alligator enough. They kept it under the water, and they kept it submerged. And I think that's what made it scary. If the alligator popped up like that CGI deer in The Walking Dead Season 7, I don't think it would have been as effective for the scene. They're doing the Jaws effect where the alligator's under the water. You don't really see it very much. And that's really what makes it very scary for the characters, because these characters have to get off the island. This alligator's just circling around. And yeah, Strand, unfortunately, he's just really becoming an alcoholic, man, because of the loss of Madison. And it's revealed that he was, in the car in this episode, there was a bottle of alcohol that the same bottle, the same brand that he drank with Madison back in season 2 at the hotel. So that was a really cool little nod to season 2. And Strand almost kills himself in this really awesome part where the car does a barrel roll down the hill. Really cool. Now, another scene that I really enjoyed, another arc, is Luciana. Now, in The Walking Dead, this would probably be butchered and ruined, but in Fear the Walking Dead, they actually did it pretty well. She finds this hurt person on the side of the road, this wounded person who doesn't have much longer. The car is holding them together, and he asks Luciana why help a total stranger. Well, it's really sweet actually, because she wants to help people because she could never help her own boyfriend Nick when he was dying, and he just dies, and he never got anything proper, never proper send off. He just died, and that made Luciana very switch inside. So she's trying to help a lot of different people in the zombie apocalypse, and I really like this. She goes on a quest for beer. She doesn't find it at first, but eventually she does because Morgan leaving the boxes. Now, I want to get into the boxes. I don't like the box arc. Even though it ends off sweet in this episode, it actually does help Luciana. In the zombie apocalypse, this box method would not work. We've seen a lot of psychopaths, and it could be poisoned. What if some psycho just goes up to the bottle of beer or water, puts poison in it, walks off, and then someone else comes by, drinks the poison, and dies? It's just not a very effective way on helping people. It's just, I can tell that people are clearly out of writing ideas, and they're trying to come up with ideas as much as they can, but I just don't enjoy this idea. It just comes off as cartoonish, and in the real world, people would butcher this idea. They would break the boxes, they would put poison into the boxes, they would do all that. Did the lady put, I think she put dirt in episode 12 in one of the boxes, in one of the water bottles. So, see, people like that really mess up this effective way of helping people. And that's why I just don't think it feels right. Let's talk about the Black Lady real quick. The Black Lady, oh my gosh. It's just so cartoony. I don't like what she's doing, that people are weak, that she just doesn't feel right. There's something off about her. There's just nothing much to say about her. I don't like her character, and I hope she dies very soon because I think she's just not right. A lot of people, it's very mixed. Some people like her, some people don't like her. I don't like her. I don't think she's really helping the show. It's very cartoonish how she's just killing someone and making them a zombie. They're weak, and then they're not weak. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like something out of The Walking Dead. I don't like it. They can get rid of her all they want. I hope to God they will. I don't like it. Again, I don't like it. Let's talk about everyone meeting up again. It's very bittersweet. Luciana buries the guy. It's very sad. She meets up with Morgan. They all meet up with each other. Alicia and Charlie, they hear Morgan on the radio. They're going to try to come get Morgan. It's very sad about John because John and Strand never get off the island. John eats that blackjack. It's called Blackjack, the episode. He eats the blackjack because he lost hope. He doesn't ever think he'll get off this island. It's very dramatic and awesome. So the episode was actually overall pretty decent for me. It's not without its problems. There are a couple pacing issues here and there. I don't like the box storyline where they set up these boxes, take what you want, leave what you don't, blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. It just doesn't feel right. I don't like the black woman. And overall, everything else is pretty solid. I think this episode is a big improvement over episode 12, which is one of my least favorite Fear the Walking Dead episodes of all time. Episode 13, that's my dog, sorry. Episode 13 is a big improvement, and that's why I'm going to give this episode a B+. It was a solid episode, does have a couple issues here and there, but nevertheless, I think it was pretty interesting and a big improvement. I thought it was fun. You had these big story elements, and I'm really happy they have the original Fab 3 Fear the Walking Dead characters, Luciana, Strand, and Alicia. Even though Luciana appeared in Season 2, she's been a regular for a very long time, so I count her as a original. In the original, Dave Erickson timeline. So, B+ for me. I hope episode 14 looks awesome. It does look awesome, and I hope it's good, and it looks freaking awesome. So, hope you enjoyed my review of episode 13, Blackjack. So, I'm going to give it a B+. What do you think of this episode? Let me know down below. Comment down below. Comment down below, subscribe to whatever the heck you want to do, and goodbye. Bye, everyone.